Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have your right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for being there. And if you're just joining us, well, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on the program. It's called Digest Extra on Core TV News Lagos, where we inform, educate, set agenda, and of course, add a bit of entertainment. So it's called Digest with a little bit of extra to just spice up your Saturday and make it really relaxing and very enjoyable. Well, before the break, I mentioned that today we'll be looking at the issue of the menace of drug abuse, and we'll be looking at how to avert the scourge. And well, of course, this topic wouldn't be coming at a better time than these when we're celebrating our children, and we're looking for how we can actually make their future really brilliant. As the leaders of tomorrow, I tell you that that future starts now. Every little step goes a long way in determining where the destination really is. So we're looking at how we can avert the scourge of drug abuse among youths, among children, even among adults who are into it. And I have joining me in the studio today a health practitioner and of course the national coordinator of Christ Against Drug Abuse Ministries. I'm talking about DOKUN ADEDEJI. Good morning to you.
Morning. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, I mentioned before, and I think I should mention again, Happy Children's Day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's treat this. Drug abuse has different meanings. What really is drug abuse?
You know, any inappropriate use of either illicit drugs, anyway, any use of illicit drug is inappropriate.
Okay.
And then you translate that to affect prescription drugs. But today what we say, we don't usually say drug abuse, and we say substance abuse.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of things that are now being abused that do not fall into the panoply of drugs.
Okay.
So that's why when people begin to depend on certain substances to pep them up, to keep them going, and then it becomes a normal routine. Without using it, they can't do the normal things they want to do. It moves from abuse to addiction, where they can't stop at all. It becomes a permanent dependence.
Okay, now you talked about illicit drugs and prescription drugs. For the average listener who really can't place a difference, could you just expatiate to that?
Okay, the illicit drugs, that is the drugs that you can pick up. Normally you can't hold up and say you're using. Things like marijuana, things like we call skunk, heroin, cocaine, amphetamines, and all those, and many others you consider as illicit drugs. But prescription drugs are the ones that you're given in hospital for certain medical reasons, but which people abuse and then depend on, and then they get addicted to it. It's now becoming extremely common, particularly among young people, amongst women, amongst young undergraduates and others, even amongst general population, because they're easy to get. And particularly in Nigeria, you can get any drug across the counter. So it means that these drugs are available for people to use, and people are terribly abusing it.
Oh. Okay, well, Dokun brought us some samples of some of those drugs. We couldn't place everything on the desk, but if you can just take a look, here we have, this is alcohol, this is gin with coconuts. Well, you can say it's coconuts, but it's got lots of gin content. And of course, this is skunk. Yeah. Okay, I think later you have to tell us how each of these affects us. Okay, now, what are the dangers of drug or substance abuse now?
You know, initially it used to be individualized. That is, you take drugs, you destroy your health, you destroy. So now they become a menace to the society, to themselves, to the families, to the society, and to everyone. I was reading this morning's paper in which a man killed his wife, and they said it was under the influence of drugs. The same thing happened to a gentleman about a week ago who killed his parents and then killed his siblings. It was under an influence of drugs. You see, the level of criminality you see in the society speaks to the fact that these are drug-induced criminalities. And I can tell you for free, if you look at Boko Haram, for instance, and I say to people, nobody, no human being that is composed will kill the other human being if he's not under the influence of something. And you will find that most of those people, that is what they do. Before even politicians, they use all these boys as hooligans, as thugs that we call them. They give them all these kind of things, feed them with marijuana, give them a lot of alcohol, a lot of concoction, and then they lose all sense of self-respect for themselves, and then they can do all the things they're doing. No man can do the things they do. You see increase in criminality, increase in waywardness, and all kinds of activities that you never would think was possible. And this can only be accentuated by the use of drugs.
Okay. So, now, so we have lots of things. It not only affects the individual, but even the society.
Even the society. The family, the person, the family, friends, relatives, the church, the society, and then everyone at large. I mean, we will suffer the consequences of somebody's misdemeanor. That is why I keep talking about this issue, that this country should take it more seriously, the issue of drug abuse. And it's getting worse. That is a tragic proportion that is extended to this.
Okay. Now, what is the background for this? Why really do you think people want to abuse substances?
You know, there's something I say to no man will wake up and say, today I want to abuse drugs. There are a lot of reasons, and there are many more reasons being propounded. Some of the things that we know: loss of self-esteem, peer pressure, lack of confidence, lack of parental influence on people, even when there is parental influence, and the excessive control of our children, and also a kind of reaction among the young people. And today there's a lot of dependence on technology. Some of these things, I can tell you, are ordered online. They don't even go somewhere to buy. They order these things online. There's an opportunity to see and read about all this, and they want to try. The level of inquisitiveness that is in these young people, they want to try. And that's why you see all kinds of concoctions being made. And also, there's a total breakdown of norms in society, ethos, ethics, and all the things we used to hold there. The value system is poor. And today, you see all this. These are reflections of what is happening in society.
Okay. But then, looking at all of these, how really aware are Nigerians about drugs and their abuse and the consequences and everything that has to do with it?
I mean, with all due respect to Nigerians, we are a normally nonchalant people and indolent people about knowledge. We're very ignorant. And we choose to be ignorant because the opportunity of learning, of seeing these things abound. But we choose to be ignorant, one. And two, there's a high level of denial. Oh, it's not happening. Oh, it's not my son. Oh, it's not my daughter. It can only be the multiple boys. And I say it's not true. The thing is, the level of awareness in Nigeria is still poor about drugs and usage and abuse and addiction, in spite of what NDLA is doing. And this is by choice, because people see these things, they ignore it because it's not affecting their own children, so they think it doesn't happen. And also, I don't think that we take things serious enough in Nigeria. If you extend this to what happened with HIV/AIDS, it took almost an epidemic proportion before we woke up to the reality of this. When the whole world is moving in a direction, we are moving in a counter direction. And until we catch up, and until we rev up, look, I push this to the media. I've said to the media a lot, and they bring me to come and talk about things. I said, that's not the important thing. I can talk about it and you forget tomorrow. Can there be a feature on drugs? Newspapers, maybe for a week you run a serial on it, and then people get to understand. But you see, we treat these things with nonchalance. And not only that, there was a time, and I credit the lady, Lola Fanny Cowden. She did a documentary which ran for about a quarter. I think it was called Mind Bending. It was so vivid, and it was so informative. But that is gone. What do we do today? Everything is money. If you talk to president, they want to collect money to do this, they say, no, what is in it? That's not it.
Yeah.
Society is suffering, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to touch you and I. You see, one of the things that I say to people is this. If I said to some of my big friends, I said, look, would you like to give me money about this thing? Oh, they say, Dokun, no, people make choices. I say, you're wrong. I agree they make choices. They make wrong choices. But just look at the scenario. You have 2 kids. You send them abroad to go to school, and you spend so much money on them, and they come on holiday. And one of these guys that you call area boys shoot your kid. You're gone. Everything you ever done in your life is gone because we neglected them.
Yeah.
Look, for me, society is meant to be, we're supposed to be our neighbors and brothers keepers. Yeah. Not necessarily because of money, but compassion, love, devotion, and caring. A little care, a little love, and a little just contributing a bit is enough. These guys, look, I can tell you, many of the people you see in the joint that you call area boys, if you take 10 of them, 6 of them are graduates. They're not riffraffs. So when we consign them to that, we are consigning the lives of our children, because many young people today are being taught to use drugs. I went to a primary school in Lagos, maybe the highest level. These guys are telling me about benylin with codeine, how they're abusing it. And they tell me about skunk.
Imagine.
And these are kids. And then we say they're kids, they will grow up to become menace to society if we don't wake up to do something about it.
Okay, well, now Nigerians are not too aware, but well, thank goodness for such an initiative like you have to go around to places, schools and the rest, to speak to people. Now, how would you rate government intervention in this? What are government agencies doing, or what are they supposed to be doing to help this society in this regard?
I must say something. I think, in a way, the government itself is complacent. I remember when President Buhari first came in 1984, one of the things he did was he was very vigorous about drugs. Everybody shouted, oh, why did he do a retro? Yes, retrospective was wrong, but it was the gravity of what he noticed then in 1984. Then transpose it to now, you'll be amazed at the devastation that drugs have wreaked. The thing is, because of global concern, like Nigeria usually does, we started the NDLA. Yes, it was good initiative, but I think the NDLA is handicapped. Handicapped by the fact that, in a way I can say, either they don't understand their role, or their role is too circumscribed, in the sense that what is happening is, NDLA has been very good in interdiction, stopping people from taking drugs outside of Nigeria and taking it abroad, which is what the international organizations want. They want drugs in their country. They give you all the technology to interdict so that it doesn't come with them. But what happens to the drugs that don't go out? They get consumed by someone. Yeah. So the thing that I think the government should do, I think the government should sit down and appraise the drug situation, have a complete understanding of it, and studying it and researching into it, and then making the work of NDLA better. That is, I think the NDLA should be restructured. If not restructured, but left at NDA, but the component parts strengthened, like the DDR, Drug Demand Reduction Unit. The Drug Demand Reduction Unit is very weak. They don't have money. I have a relationship with them. They don't have EIC material they can give to you to do advocacy. They can't go out themselves. They don't do anything. They can't because they're handicapped because of financial limitation. So the government must look at this, because I tell you something, if in 5 years down the line, we're still the way we are, we're going to have an epidemic of drug abuse in this country, particularly amongst the young people from like age 12 to 18, which is where it is getting worse. So I think that, and I think one of the things is society must be so, how do I say, educated that if anybody leaves drug, it can live a normal life. We stigmatize a lot in this country. I think we should decriminalize the use of drugs. The victim is suffering from double jeopardy. You punish him because he is taking drugs, that is one punishment. And then you are punishing him for having taken drugs. When there are people who sell it, there are people whose People manufacture it. They caught some people in Onitsha or Sabah some time ago, brought some Mexican in, have a small laboratory. They were manufacturing synthetic drugs. Those are the kind of people that need punishment. People who transport it, they need punishment, but not the people who use. That will enable people to own up, to come out and seek rehab and seek help. Like some universities do, they send their students to us. We help them, we rehabilitate, they go back to school. They graduate, they become regular people. If we don't begin to turn our gaze away from punishment, we will not get a hand on this. And I think they're going to have an interministerial committee across health, across labor, across employment, across, to work with NDL, the Ministry of Justice, and work with Nigerian Medical Association, and work with Pharmaceutical Society Association, because these drugs come in. Look at this. Tramadol is a prescription drug, but it's so completely abused. It's one of the commonest drugs of abuse in the north. Benin with codeine is abused, and they take it neat, or they mix it with Coca-Cola or Lacasera or Pepsi Cola. So it covers the color, and then you see them carry, you think he's drinking Coke. It's not. Those are some of the things we need. You then find out that it's not only the work of NDLA. NDLA must have the opportunity of working with those people and then working together to stem this. It can't be only the work of NDLA. And then when it comes to prescription, how do people get prescription? People work in the hospital, tear up the prescription sheets, write this to go buy. Because some chemists demand that you bring a prescription. Some people write it for them at a cost. They give you money, you give them money, they write prescription for you because of what you want. These drugs are drugs that should be managed with care in the hospital. There's an injection called injection pentazocine. It's injection for twin. It is used particularly for very severe pains. People get it off the chemist. All these corner shop, they get it. And so if those things are so easily available, then there'll be a tendency for use. Availability is one of the reasons why people can use drugs.
Now, looking at our society and prevalence of these, what category of individuals are more prone to drug use and drug abuse?
Okay, let me first of all say to you, it cuts across the society. Old people, young people. But what is scary today and frightening is the fact that the age of use is now between 12, let me say 12 and 29.
12.
And 20. I tell you, you know why that is easy is they can use skunk, they can use marijuana. Marijuana is the commonest drug of use in this country. And you can buy it for almost peanuts, any corner of Lagos, and then you see people use it. And then people now use codeine, and they use all the prescription. If they can use between age 12 and 29, that is the major age of use. If you get 100 people, about 60 will be in that age range. We find that about 25% of youth have at one time or the other experimented with drugs. Then if you look at 25% of Nigerian youth population, then you begin to understand the dangers we're on. And then if people can come and kill their wives, kill their parents, and do this, there was a gentleman 2 years ago that was heavily reported who killed his father. His father was a son, an undergraduate, killed his father, still under prosecution about 2 years ago. And people think these things are not just like that. They happen almost every day. It depends on where they happen. It depends on to whom they happen. And so people think, oh, it's not a problem. But when you see rape, how would an adult, a 25-year-old rape a 4-year-old, and you think he's okay? He's not likely to be. But how many people submit themselves to psychological assessment? If you don't, a lot of criminals will be walking on the street of Lagos and we take them for normal. If you check, Lagos State did some work. If you check most of the Danfo drivers or Okada, go, if they do a survey, a lot of them will be on drugs, even if you look in their pocket. I went to one of these drug joints someday, then I saw a gentleman that I had always known. So I asked him where he was going. He said he was going to work. I said, you, what work? He's a driver. He said he's just gotten a job. He's going to drive his Danfo. I said, you, let me put my hand in your pocket. I brought out 4 wraps of marijuana. And he's going to drive people. You think vehicles run into a co-bridge is clear eyes? No, it's not. Some of these things, we need to wake up in this country to the reality and smell the the coffee. It's huge.
Very huge.
So the use, you can't limit it, but the preponderance of it is in that age group. But it cuts across. Lawyers do, doctors do, pilots do, engineers do, undergraduates do a lot.
Even entertainers do, music artists.
You see, one of the things also we must begin to look at when it comes to NDLA, government, and all the rest, the policy, the framework policy. All these advertisements, we should look at them properly.
Yeah.
We glamorize drugs. And then, you see, there's an advert that I like to tell people about Marlboro. There used to be this gentleman who was a cowboy who advertised the Marlboro and then using a lasso to cut. The guy died from lung cancer. Nobody tells us what he died from if we don't know. But they speak about what he does. Look at Prince. Look at Michael Jackson. And these are people that are idolized. And young people want to be like that. There's a gentleman in England, almost every time that is called, Pete Duarte is his name. It's always DUI, under the influence. Many of them. And these are people that people like to be like. Even Nigerian artists, when you look at them, the things they do, you begin to wonder. I mean, the kind of song, Oriye Fokasibe and all those kind of, I mean, those are not regular things. And then we need to be very careful. These are the people. If, for instance, you know, the tragedy of our society is this. Let us say the Wale Soyinka is coming to speak at the stadium to young people. You probably will find about 10,000 people because their schools are invited.
Yeah.
But let them say one of these artists want to play.
Oh.
The whole place is going to be free.
Yes. That
is the dissonance you see in our society. The things we glamorize and the things that we make important. And so it creates a level of dissonance in our children. What is right, which is good, which is better. And then that's why we're saying what we're saying.
Wow. Okay, so is there a way you can tell us how this works?
Yeah, let me just tell you a bit about, you know, one of the tragedy of a society, I wish you could show everything.
Yeah.
You know, when they do drugs, when they do alcohol, they do big bottles, they do all those things. But see what they're beginning to do? They're beginning to do the sachet type. So if you can't afford the one that is about 1,000, you can afford the 20 naira one. So if somebody buys 2 of this and then he uses marijuana with it, you can buy one. There was one day I went to a joint. As they woke up, they were walking out of their rooms. The things they bought were this, and then they went to step down or whatever with this.
Yeah.
That's what you see. This is what you see at motor parks. This is what you see. You see, around schools and churches, I said to schools and churches, the people who merchandise around your perimeter, who checks them? Some of these things are sold to kids. The ice cream guy, who checks what he sells? Some of them sell drugs. It happened to a friend of mine. So I'm not going to mention her name, but she told me, her son told her. Who checks? This is just one. Okay. This is what you call skunk. I mean, if you look at it, this is what you call skunk. If you look at what skunk is a bit of marijuana, a bit of dry leaves, usually purple leaves, and then with cocaine, they mix it, and it's about 1,000. A sachet is about 1,000, 1,500. Okay. That is skunk, and this is marijuana.
So
this is how marijuana looks. And then when you go to the joint, you see it in trays. They put it in trays like this, and they're taking out the dirt pile, and then they're packing it. And it's so common. People just go, and then they buy Riesler. This paper they used to wrap cigarette, and then they put it in and wrap it, and then you think it's cigarette, and then begin to puff. And then you see the difference. And what they have now done, there are all kinds of marijuana. There's a perfumed one that when they take it, you will not perceive the real smell of marijuana. But when some of these boys do this thing, particularly the undergraduate and students, what they do is they buy high menthol sweet, and then they take it, so it covers the smell. Or when they come to their rooms, they spray insecticides, and so nobody perceives the smell. It's all kinds of. This is tramadol. This is prescription drug. But you can get it on the street. In the north, this is one of the commonest drugs of use. And also with Benelli, they did a survey. They found that in Kano and Jigawa, in 1 year, about 6 million bottles of Benelli codeine was sold. Who are the people buy? The students, the ordinary worker, and women. Women that they hardly see the husband, there's nothing for them to do, so they buy it. Sometimes they put in Zobo drink, Sometimes they put it in the kunu. So you can begin to imagine. So the people who sell this, the people know them.
Yeah.
And then they know how to buy from them. There was a time expired products of this was seized in Niger State by the NDADA. It is there. This is cocaine. And we call this one Charlie, they call it crack. This is drug, is so addictive. You take it and it's so difficult to leave because of the high it gives. You know, one of the lies that's about this drug is this. If you take a pinch today, it gives you this high, let's say from here to here.
Yeah.
There is no way again that same pinch will give you the same high. So they're always chasing the high. They now look for more things to come. They will never find the high. So that's why they keep in drugs. I mean, this is cocaine, this is heroin. I mean, this is heroin.
Yeah.
And this is also heroin depending on the type. One is called brown, one is called white, depending on where they come from. And this is diazepam. Diazepam is a sedative or one of the drugs that's used in also to help people to relax. What is used. So there's an array of drugs now that are out there for people to use. So it depends on what you choose to use. But the good thing is, if we can get more people to stand up for this, particularly one of the things, the avenue I'm looking at is if we can get entertainers that are clean. I've spoken to a friend of mine, Lagbaja. He's willing to help us, and I'm trying to. There was a time we did a walk, and I got some of my friends of TV in Tinsa. They did the walk with us. So when we use people like that are clean, and then we begin to get close. I spoke to Agatha Amata. She's thinking of a way in which she can get a documentary done. Also at this well, trying to find a way in which they can help us, because if we don't put it out in the open and let people understand, and we have people that have left drugs in our ministry that are now ambassadors for us. Some of them are doctors, some of them are lawyers. If we now bring them to speak, people will understand that, look, these are survivors. They can tell you the dangers that are inherent. I know people that have been in drugs for 20, 30 years. Some of them have been and they have left. So there's a possibility. It is not a death sentence. We can deal with it. We can deal with it if we're serious to deal with it. I run an NGO. I've been involved in this NGO. To get money is a lot of struggle. To find help, to find understanding, to find people who can give of themselves to us. Even for people to volunteer is huge. People don't do those things because there's no money in it.
Well, somehow, you know, everything has got to a stage where if there isn't money involved for the fellow, he seems not to be interested. Well, but this is a scourge that can be averted. It is a scourge that can be stopped. It can be nipped in the bud before it's, you know, gets on us like cankerworm and eats so deeply into us. You can be a part of this conversation. All you need to do is put a call through to the number showing on your screen, but we'll be accommodating that just after this break. Just stay with us.
For topical issues, Nigerians must have something to say.
Arms. We don't need arms for anything. Let them put it into education.
They need to buy another arms now. What are they fighting for? Who? Government should deal with them squarely.
Please help us bring back our guests. No money, no markets. We are dying. Everybody is crying. Nothing.
Any man God support, no man stops.
It's a prophecy I believe he must have received from heaven. Yes.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Everything has got to go.
Core TV News now live on all Androids.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
Download Core TV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Well, many thanks for being there. You're still watching Core Digest Extra on Core TV News Lagos. And today we've been looking at the scourge of drug abuse, how we can avert the scourge. My guest is still with me in the studio. He's DOKUN ADEDEJI. He's a health expert and the National Coordinator of Christ Against Drug Abuse Ministry. Many thanks for being here, Dokun.
My pleasure.
Well, before the break, I mentioned that you can be a part of this conversation. Do put a call through to the number showing on your screen. And if you're calling from outside Nigeria, remember the international short code +234 +234. The number itself is 0816-481-8001. Now we've talked about how some of these drugs are used and all of that. How can we ensure that we curtail this? Because usually, now you mentioned the fact that some could even get this thing that, of course, you need, okay, if a chemist refuses to sell to you unless you come with prescription, then no problem. I just meet some doctor, just have some, or I could even formulate a letterhead myself, a prescription head myself, and just come to you, write something on it, and you sell to me. But how can we ensure that there's synergy between these organizations to ensure that we curb this?
You see, that is where the government comes in coming as an umbrella and sitting down and formulating a framework of policies, and then creating, as I said, for NDLA, the DRU unit, in which there's a high level of advocacy. Go to every nook and cranny. They alone can't do it, but there are quite a number like us that I know who can do this on their behalf if we have enough materials. I mean, the way we operate, we can only operate in Lagos, but I tell you, we get clients from all over Nigeria, even from abroad. People bring their kids, who bring their, or we can't cope as a rehab home. So the thing is, it's a collective action. I've said it in churches that I've spoken,
okay,
that these things have to be altered issues,
okay,
in which they must be talked about.
Okay, please, let's please have Emmanuel. He's calling from Egbeda in Lagos. Good morning to you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, are you there? Please go on with your contribution.
Hello?
Hello, Emmanuel, we can hear you. Do go on with your contribution. Okay, it seems he wasn't hearing us. Please, when you put a call through, remember to turn down completely the volume of your TV set. It's better to hear through the mobile phone than through the TV set itself. Yeah, we're talking about...
One of the things that the church is missing, how many pastors know about drugs? Well, in Nigeria, we spiritualize everything.
And there's a stigma on those who do it. They can't, you're not welcome.
The thing I've said in churches, these issues, these social issues have to be altar matters in which we speak from the altar, not in castigating, not in judgmental fashion, but in a manner to get people to speak out and create within the churches and schools guidance and counseling unit in which that people can walk freely to someone and speak, and when they do, don't use that against them subsequently. They will never speak. So the families, how many parents know about drugs? Right in their homes, their kids are doing drugs. They don't know. Some of them know, they deny. There was a boy that was suspended from one of the universities when the authorities called the father. The father said, yes, I know. Why do you think I brought him to your school, which is a Christian university? I brought him so that you can help him. The guy spends a lot more time at home. Students spend a lot more time at home than at school. And you can't change a person's attitude with the shortness of time. How many families, how many fathers and mothers are role models to their kids? A young girl told me, 9-year-old girl, said, how can you help my family? That my cousins are beginning to teach my brothers how to drink and smoke. I said, why did you tell your dad? He said, oh, my dad is drunk. I said, what? Oh, my mom is even worse than my dad, a 9-year-old. So what do you expect? You see, parents are no more role models to their kids. There's a level of dissonance with these children. The father says, don't smoke. A mother it says, don't smoke, but he smokes. So the children says to him, if you say don't smoke, why do you smoke? If he doesn't do anything to you, you can't do anything to me. Society must now begin to return to our values. We must all together begin to speak about, but not in a judgmental fashion. You are going to hell. No, it's not about that. It's about how do we help our people. Many of our children, they go to school too young. In the universities they are coming to speak, I said to them, why do you admit people less than 17 to your university? The guy who comes in is mentally immature. He can follow the herd. They tell him smoking is good, he smokes. And they go to parties. There was a boy that was caught in the university. He was returning from open day. The security checked his bag. It was full of drugs. So they asked him. He said he was going to have his birthday party. So he was going to have a drug party. I mean, these are the things that happen.
Okay.
And unless we are, it's not about you, about everyone.
Let's quickly take this call. Is Michael calling from Warri in Delta State? Good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning.
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 Hello?
Yeah, Michael, we can hear you. Please go on with your contribution.
Okay, my question. Oh, hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Just go on and speak.
Okay. Can you please educate us more on the adverse effect of smoking weed? Because I know a couple of young people that are involved in it, and I want to know how it affects them health-wise, besides being addictive to it.
Okay. Many thanks, Michael.
You know, Michael, thank you for your question. One thing that we have known from research, the younger the age of use of marijuana, the greater danger it is because it destroys the brain. You know, there's all kind of myths. I know, yes, I'm a doctor. I know marijuana can medicinally used, but it has to be under control. A man cannot say, I'm treating headache in my house or something, I'm taking marijuana. I have seen someone brought to me, only one time he took marijuana, he went crazy. It's a drug that has the capacity to destroy the kidneys, the liver, the target organs, and also destroy the brain and destroy the person. And some of the things, but even if it doesn't do that on a global level, it destroys motivation. It destroys opportunity to want to do anything. They get lazy and they begin to act, to misbehave. They hallucinate. The visual hallucination or auditory hallucination, they begin to hear voices that's not there. They see things that rather do. Some come and say to you, I'm Jesus Christ. Then you know there's something wrong. That's hallucination, is visual. Somebody says, something is telling me to kill that person. And that is auditory hallucination. And they sometimes carry out those things. You know, those are some of the things that marijuana can do to people. People can say, no, it doesn't do that. On the long run, it does something. It can kill the organs. But you may not see it immediately. But the immediate ones you see are the ones that can make you go crazy. And people should not indulge in it. No matter what the fantasies we read on internet, that, oh, they do this and they're growing it in Ohio, they're doing this, and it's about choices. And you see, the thing that people must know about marijuana is there's a TH4 component, there's a cannabinoid component. So it depends on which one is higher. We have found out that there is one that is good that you can use to treat, the other one can destroy.
Okay, please let's have Isa calling from Kaduna. Good morning to you, Isa.
Good morning.
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 And my greetings to Uncle there. Good morning, sir.
Morning. How you doing?
I saw this program on TV and I was very, very interested about the program.
Thank you.
In terms of drugs control, my suggestion is even the law enforcement agents, something is wrong with them.
And
like I'm in Kaduna. There are places for drugs inside town in Kaduna. You see policemen around that place waiting for those who go and buy drugs there. And when they came out, they stick that drug with them and release them. And they take those things themselves. Sorry, they took our life. But let me just complete. That is the most important thing is the law enforcement agents. Something have to be done to them. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes, please, Isa.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, really, because some of these folks, even when you see them around in Lagos, they themselves are high.
You know, let me be honest with you. That's why I say to you that this is a condition that cuts across. I have been to the joints where in uniform people sit down to smoke. That is why policemen I say to people, during the day I can argue with a policeman. When it's dark, I will not. Because I don't know his state. Some of them get drunk. Some of them take marijuana, they take drugs. I won't mention one. There's a police station that is close to the joint in the place that I know. Their window opens into the joint. When they also want supply, they tap, they open, and somebody gives them. They take it that we know. I've seen them in the joint. You see, the thing is not about the stigmatization of who takes. It's about what do we do. The thing is, if you pick this policeman who buys, you're just is a red herring. It's just one person. How do we dissuade people from finding satisfaction with drugs? That is what is about.
Okay,
knowledge.
We have another call now. Clifford calling from River State. Good morning, Clifford.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
I'm calling from River State, madam.
Yeah, please.
My contribution is that I want you to educate me on the advantage of tramadol.
Okay. The disadvantage of tramadol.
Yes,
okay.
madam.
Thank you very much, Clifford.
Thank you, Clifford. You see, the thing about tramadol is a prescription drug for very severe pains. Usually it is given, take number of times this day for this number of days. If you do that, not a problem. But what people have done is they have abused such frequency, and then they take it because, you know, when you take tramadol, it reduces the pain and it gives a slightly euphoric feeling. It gives you a sense of relaxation because it's supposed to relax and take away your pain. It dilates the blood vessels to let the pain disappear. So people now accentuate the perception, and then they say, oh, this is what it does to me. They now take it anytime they have any slight pain. So after some time, they get used to it. Even when they don't have pain, when they have phantom pains, they go take. Not only that, if they take it as tablets, they can stop. But sometimes they then mix it with alomo, all these drinks, and then they mix it. There was a student and his friend, they had a party after their GSS3 or SS3 or whatever at Bariga. It was documented in the papers last year. They bought a lot, mixed it with alomo, and began to drink with wine. He died. The boy was only 17. You know, so this is the abuse of it. Tramadol is good if used as prescribed and you stop it and you walk away from it. But if you then use it as recreational drug, as something that takes the perception of pain away, and then every phantom pain you begin to use it, it becomes dangerous. And the other thing is, what people must know, any drug that is abused, apart from causing all these abuse symptoms, destroys the kidney and the liver, because the liver is the first place the drug goes to, and then that breaks it down, and then it goes to the kidneys that excrete it, and it destroys them. When this drug destroys those organs, a man is as good as dead.
And then, you know, such drug as tramadol, by the time one even abuses it, it gets to a time when you actually need it to work for you, and it can't, because one's immunity is already weak.
You see, because what happens is the body
gets used to it.
Yes, it develops tolerance to it, and then it doesn't work. That's why in some people, when they use this and drink a lot, when you want to do operation on them and give them some anesthetic, it doesn't work, because their body has already got to a level in which anything like that is absorbed, and then so you need to go a higher level, and the higher you go, the riskier it gets in whatever procedure. Okay. So these are things that all of us must begin to let the society know, particularly the young people. They are very, they believe anything, and then they want to try anything. In their state of experimentation, they get caught. I know people go to parties. If they have stayed with the level of party, no, then they see some people walking into the kitchen and coming out feeling cool. What are they doing in the kitchen? Curiosity that kills the cat. They then go, they find that people are sniffing powder.
Okay.
They join in.
Okay, please let's have David calling us from Adamawa State. Good morning to you, David.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello?
Hello, David, we can hear you. Let's have your contribution, please.
Okay, actually, I want to speak on the Drug Enforcement Law Agency, the role they play to the society. I believe the Drug Enforcement Law Agency are supposed to eradicate the much consumption of drugs in the society. But places like Yola is a place that we witness the Drug Enforcement Law Agency. They encourage high take of such drugs like cannabis sativa. Get these dealers.
David, please
They will
turn
just
down the
receive
volume
money from them, and
of your
then
TV
they go their own way.
Okay,
This
David,
is
can
not
you hear me?
supposed to
Please
be like
turn down
that.
the volume of your TV set. Have you done that, please? Okay, I guess you just lose that connection. Please, when you put a call through, it's always better when the TV set volume is really down so we can hear one another, and even other people at home can hear us clearly and learn from what we are saying. But I was talking about the Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
Look, I truly sympathize with David. You see, but there's something that Nigerians do. It is always the next person, never me. The responsibility for everybody's well-being is his. The primary responsibility. NDLA can do what they choose. Agents can do what they choose. What do you choose to do? So the thing is, I mean, there are corrupt people everywhere. There are good people in NDLA. I know them. I've worked with them for a number of years. They are willing. They are very desirous of doing this job. But some are there too to make money, just like it is like the politicians do in Senate. So they also do in NDLA. So it is not about one sector. It's about the general sector. And it's about what each and every one of us can do. We need to help NDLA as well. The work is huge. I can tell you that. There is no state in this country where there is no abuse. It is getting worse in the north. It is terrible in the south. If you go to River State, Port Harcourt, around where they used to call Waterside or something, although they've driven them, but they've gone into every facet of society. Lagos is huge. There is hardly any area in Lagos that there's no joint.
Yeah.
So it's not about saying NDLA, it's about the people, it's about the government, it's about all of us waking up to the reality of what is facing us, and then we do something.
Okay, all of us waking up to the reality. Let's have Andrew calling from Benin. Good morning to you, Andrew.
Good morning, Mama. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So much appreciate your headline.
Thank you.
My contribution to this subject is we need to tackle this drug from the grassroots. Understand?
Yes, please.
So if you really want to force all those joints where they say Indian, heroin, and drugs and all that, what have you? But you know these sorts, they are all coming up from farms. So all we need to do is to tackle the farmland
Okay.
before it goes to the retailers. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He said we need to tackle from the grassroots and then the farmlands. You know, some time ago, the NDLA was out to destroy some huge expanse of land where the marijuana was being grown.
You know, I mean, let me be very frank with you. We know certain areas of Nigeria where these things grow very well. Ondo State is, Ekiti is, Oyo State, Edo. In such areas, a huge proportion of hectares of land have been destroyed. I know Oyo State because I know the NDLA director there. I know there was only the carried out operation and sealed up large hectares. You see, the thing is this. It is not the doing of that is important. What do we offer the farmer who farms in it, makes so much money to counterbalance his loss? That's what they did in Afghanistan many years ago. America came and said, look, don't do this, don't grow, but we'll give this money in replacement and let you farm in this and that. Look, drug is not done by whiff or by whims. It's done by consistent framework of policy and facing up to the reality that these are the things to do. There are too many facets in which we need to sit down and begin to close the loopholes. The farmers that do it, do we encourage them now in these days of diversification that, look, if we grow cocoa here, if we grow yam here, instead of this, we'll buy all the yam off you, we'll sell it to cooperative.
And they make good money.
And make good money. The man won't grow marijuana.
Yeah.
If also the value orientation of the society begins to change, we will not pursue money to the detriment of people, people's health and people's future. Because we may think it's some people today, it will be all of us tomorrow. Until, you see, the issue with Nigeria is we are too now. Until we begin to be futuristic in our expectations, be futuristic in our demands and values, our nation will not change, whether drug or anything.
Okay. So we need to be futuristic, and it begins with you, it begins with me, it has to do with everybody.
Everybody.
I must sincerely appreciate you for being here today. It's DOKUN ADEDEJI, a health expert and national coordinator of Christ Against Drug Abuse Ministry. We can only wish you well in this ministry so that Nigeria is free of and from drugs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
I
very much.
appreciate it.
Well, that's been it on that segment on drug abuse. Averting the SCOURGE. I hope you've learned a lesson or more so you can as well join in this campaign against drug abuse. It is a SCOURGE, it is a cankerworm, but somehow it can be stopped. It begins with you, it begins with me. Let's strive to ensure that this menace is contained or curtailed in Nigeria. Well, we'll go on another break, and when we come back, it'll be yet another very interesting segment. We'll be talking about children and how their future can be really prosperous. Join us in just a moment.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.